Light FM.
6.7 Light FM. Cubby and Christine in the morning. And a guy waking up with us right now. There's something about this guy. I feel like I know him. Maybe because I've seen him on TV and movies.
You've been with us for years, although you may not realize it. Paul Reiser.
Good morning.
The amazing Paul.
Also, we were roommates in college. Maybe that rings a bell.
Yeah, those were good times back then.
Yeah.
The two Pauls.
No, but there is something about you that I just feel like, again, not because of TV or movies, you're the kind of guy every time I saw on TV, I'm like, I could probably hang out with that dude.
Well, that's very nice.
Yeah. You must have high Q scores. Is that what they call them?
I don't know what that's called. Well, there is something also. When you're on TV, you're in people's living room, and people always say, well, what? Like when I do stand-up and people say, like, what do you talk about? And I said, here's the truth. I'm not smart enough to make anything up, so I only can talk about what happened in my house. And people are laughing because they're going, oh, that sounds like my house. So apparently we all live in the same house with the same family.
Yeah, totally relatable.
That's very true.
I know.
Yeah.
I know how much, like, my mom and I together love to watch Mad About You. And I feel like 90s New York feels like this golden era,
It really does.
Yeah. And people used to get angry, like, that apartment, you could never afford that apartment in New York. It's like, well, yes, it's big, but there was no fourth wall, so that was cheaper. There was a breeze. There was a constant breeze.
Where did you grow up? You were born here in New York City. Yeah, but what part?
Stuyvesant Town, which
wow.
is down 14th Street.
Do you ever go down there and check out the old digs?
I not recently, but a few years ago I did, and that was one of the first big housing projects, and there's like 50,000 people live there. So when my kids were little, I said, well, this is where Daddy grew up, and he went, all of this? I went, no. Like he thought the whole thing. He had no idea. He never seen an apartment building.
All these apartments.
Yes, my little LA kid never saw a vertical building.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, it was I still feel like a New Yorker, though I've been in LA far longer. I moved out there when I was 26, 7, something like that.
Right.
And so I've been in LA longer. But what thrills me is my kids, who are in their 20s, both grew up in LA. Both sound like they're from New York.
Really?
And if I've done nothing else.
That's from you.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, at least they got
Absolutely.
something they can claim.
You didn't pass along the Kardashian vocal fry.
Oh, thank goodness. You're not. Oh, hey, I'm from LA. You're not doing that.
Is that what it's called? The vocal fry?
Vocal
Yeah.
fry, yeah.
The other, there must be a name for it, but the thing where it just goes up, like everything becomes
Yes.
a question.
Right.
Like we're so unsure. What's your name? Paul? It's like, you say it.
Yeah.
Is that okay? That's the part that bothers me. They never got that. That would have put me in a hospital.
Yeah,
Right.
That would have made me
Well, we
crazy.
got you up early this morning. Here it is. It's Friday, and you have a big event tonight at the City Winery.
Yes.
Tell everybody about it.
Big event.
That's
Yes, I'm doing. I don't know how big it is. I'm doing performing, do my stand up, and I have not done a show in the city for years. I'm not sure why. I just haven't. I've played in the area, but this is the first time back playing in the city, and it's a beautiful room. I've never been there.
It's
but
a great venue.
Everybody
yeah.
tells me it's great.
Do you have an opener, or is just
Yeah, no, my buddy Vance Gilbert, who's a really terrific singer, songwriter, and funny too, but he's going to open the show. And we've been done. He used to tour. He used to open for George Carlin the last 8-9 years of George's touring, and then I don't know. He did a show with me years ago, and I said, well, he's great. So it's a great show, and there's something, and I'm not sucking up to the city, but. Shows are funnier when I'm like within a 20-mile radius of the city. I'm funnier than when I am in New Hampshire. I don't know. I mean, the shows are good in New Hampshire and Oklahoma.
Right.
But you get to the city, it's just funnier. It's quicker. They're just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever it is you were saying, it's like, I feel like I know the audience too.
Right.
Yeah,
They
true.
get you. They get you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
And I had taken a long break from doing stand-up, not really intentionally, I just kind of did. It's like when Mad About You started, and then I got busy with the show, and then when the show was over, I was just happy to be home. So I took a long break. And when I went back out, I had this feeling that was like the audience, like we all grew up together. Like, we used to watch you, now we're all older, and now you're talking about different stuff. And it really felt like getting together with old friends. And it was for me, and I think for them as well. So it's really been a nice connection. So I'm excited to be.
And you age fairly well, I want to tell you. You look great, man.
I'm 87. I look fantastic.
But Christine, doesn't he look great? I mean,
I'm a great-looking guy.
Yes, of
on
course
radio,
you
you
do.
really get a nice sense of that.
I can tell you eat healthy. I can
That's
tell you eat
what
vegetables.
radio.
I mean, I never understood people lie about their age. It's like, if you're going to lie, say you're older, because
Yes.
then you look better.
Because then it's like, wow, you look amazing.
Yeah, I'm 93. You know what? I
Yes.
keep myself nice.
Don't worry about it.
Yes.
Hire me. I can do the job.
That's funny. That's
What do
funny.
you? So, what do you think you'll be discussing? What's happening?
A lot of it will be about you.
Okay.
They go, how was the show with Christine and Cub? I go, let me tell you something. That was a nightmare. And then they'll have questions, I'm sure.
Yeah.
They go, are they that abrasive? And I go, no, they were pleasant, actually.
But I guess there's a lot of at-home stuff, though, like you said.
Well, you know, when you at a certain age, and I'm there are things that don't work as well, and I'm finding it's always a nice surprise. Every week you notice something that worked better on you a few weeks ago, and so you start talking about that, and people go, "Yes, we're having that problem too." And it turns out my kids are not that different than everybody else's kids. My younger son, just moved from L.A., moved to New York. And somebody said, well, why would he move there? Why did he move all the way to New York? And I said, because that's as far as the country goes. if he could have gone further, he would have. But there's water, so he stopped there.
Right.
But which is, I can relate to, because I moved from New York to California, and that was my excuse. I went, how far can I get from where I just came from?
Did you think you'd be there for a short time, by the way, like when you moved there?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Like I moved to New York in '96, and I thought, okay, it's
From
radio, it's market number one. I'll do it for 5 years and get out of here. And now here I am,
From
27
from
years.
where,
later.
Virginia via
Virginia?
Texas.
I was in
to-
Virginia, then
yeah.
Houston, and then Houston,
Yeah.
New York.
It was, it was sort of mandated, like when in the 70s, and I don't know that it's as true now, but all of us comics, you work and you learn your skills and you get your chops, and then you'd go out to California because that's where the Tonight Show was, that's where the TV shows were, that's if you want to get a sitcom. So it was sort of assumed that you'd end up there. But I don't know that I thought that I would live there. I kind of probably didn't. I probably thought that I would live more in New York. I get back here often enough.
Right.
And if I don't get here, I start feeling itchy. Okay, I
Right.
need to
Eat
get
it.
back.
Pasta, pizza.
Yeah,
Bagels.
but I don't know if
Bagels.
I don't know. It's also just walking.
Yeah.
And literally bumping into people. It's
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm gone too long, I find I've lost my mojo. Like I can't quite navigate the streets, and I'm hitting people on, not in a graceful way.
You feel like a tourist. You're looking up at the building.
Yes, don't look up.
Yeah, and then after about a day or two, I go, okay, I got it back.
Yeah,
I
I'm
got
over it.
That's awesome.
So you've kind of have to take a hiatus now for acting, and I feel like everybody loves Stranger Things. Do you have any idea when they're going to be able to pick up filming again?
No. They don't tell me. I don't. I'm not terrifically plugged into the negotiations. I don't know. I think everybody's hoping it gets settled soon because this is not good for anybody.
Right.
Actors want to work. Writers want to work, and studios and networks and streamers need shows. So it's in everybody's interest to get going again. But it's funny, when I was on Stranger Things, and people would say, well, what's happening next year? And I said, let me tell you something. I don't know what happened last year, and I was on it, and I don't know what the hell's going on. So I'm the wrong guy.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah,
for
and I
that
go,
show.
I don't quite understand it.
And they do a lot of conventions. Like a lot of the actors on there will go. Do you do the meet and greets?
No,
Yeah, because
met
people would
people
ask you
already.
all the time.
I've met enough people.
What movie do people bring up to you the most? Because of all the movies you've done, I don't know why I think Beverly Hills Cop first. And you had a small role in that
I had a
movie.
tiny role. You know what's funny? In the first, are we allowed legally? Are we allowed to talk about old stuff because it's during a strike? I think.
I have no idea.
We're not.
Are we? We're
Technically
not promoting.
No, we're not.
it, right?
Don't watch these
So-
movies.
We're promoting.
Don't watch these movies
Right,
until
no.
the strike
Until
is
the strike
over.
is over.
Beverly Hills Cop, awful movie.
But I'll tell you a funny thing. There was in the first Beverly Hills Cop, I had a scene. I think like 2 scenes, and I had one scene. The first scene with Eddie in the locker room,
Right.
And I knew Eddie from the comedy clubs already, so it was very easy and comfortable to play. And he gets yelled at by his boss, and I had to leave, but there was no line, and I didn't know how to get out of the scene, so I just sort of said, "Hey, this is not my locker," and I walked off the camera.
That was ad-libbed?
That was ad-lib, and it was almost entirely off camera. I saw it not long ago and went, I barely even got it in. For some reason, that line people would come for years. Still, people come over me, but I didn't know what they were doing. I'd be in an airport and somebody would go, "Hey, that's not my suitcase." I go, "What?" "No, it's my suit." "No, get it? That's not my suit." I went, "Oh, that's 40 years ago." But
I love
yes,
this.
yeah, but
That's so
it took me a
cool.
long
You were
time.
the guy.
You're the guy with that line with the locker, but I changed it for humor's sake.
That is too funny.
Yeah, so that for some reason that really.
I love fun facts like
That's
that.
what sticks with people.
Like Michael Keaton and Mr. Mom, I heard that was ad-libbed. The whole, like, are you going to make it 220, 221?
Oh, he's
Well,
brilliant. Man.
yeah,
Michael
but it-
Keaton's great.
Yeah, anyway, we digress.
We digress.
Not
Yes.
at all.
PaulReiser.com. PaulReiser.com. Tickets
That's how
available.
well I'm doing. I have my own .com. Thing.
You have your own .com.
Yeah,
And you
my
can, like, people can go tonight if they want.
They can go, and in fact, I encourage them. It's going to be a great show. I'm going to take a risk. It might be the best show I've ever done. tonight.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Why wouldn't
it
it
will
be?
be. You're back in New
I'm
York.
back. I couldn't be
Yes.
more happy. And
Absolutely.
yes, I'm very excited. If you're in the area, come by, say hello. Not during the show.
Will there be
That's-
wine at the City Winery?
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
it's New York, so it's whining with an H. It's yes.
You're funny.
The
Always.
You're
City
good.
Complainery that was originally called.
Right.
All right.
It is a
Paul.
really great venue, by the way.
Yeah,
City
I've
Winery. I
never
love
been.
it.
I am looking forward to you.
All right.
Yeah.
Paul Reiser, we thank you for your time.
See you tonight.
We love you, man.
Thank you, man. Nice
ya.
to see you both.
106.7 Lights FM.